The rise of freedom now, and our continuing series on the rebuilding of the World Trade Center. More than a decade has now passed since the terrorists brought down the original buildings. What happened that day is now a terrible chapter in U.S. history. The question for schools is, how do you teach the kids about it?
How come they flew into the towers?
Good question. You mean the hijackers?
Joan Judd teaches at a grade school in upstate New York, which, like most of the country, has no guidelines for teaching about the attacks of 9/11.
When I prepared my lesson, I realized that I was talking about the Twin Towers, and fourth graders might not even know what the Twin Towers are.
Even many high school students who live in New York City don't know the facts.
Somebody had mentioned there were 3 planes. There were 4.
It's a touchy subject, and it's up to teachers to decide whether to touch it at all.
You don't want to offend anyone, and you don't want there to be anger geared towards certain students in the class.
Some teachers visit the Tribute Center at the World Trade Center for help.
You can tell the story from a different perspective. Right. Yeah. Survival.
Former New York principal Ada Dolch evacuated her high school on 9/11. She shares her story in classrooms, trying to focus on the patriotism Americans felt on September 12th.
You want to be careful what message you portray, especially since it's a raw issue.
Some states, including New Jersey, have put together suggested lesson plans, but educators don't have to follow them. New York State Senator Jack Martins wants his state to require the teaching of 9/11.
We should have a set curriculum, and the lessons should be taught in a way that is uniform.
Parents just want to make sure their kids are old enough to handle it.
If they're too young and they're not going to be able to grasp, what it means, really, there's no point showing them that kind of tragedy.
A lot to consider for very young minds. Our Rise of Freedom series continues with more reports in the coming weeks and months. And to check out what we've done so far, log on to the website, foxnews.com/freedom. So